He was born in Villa Fiorito, a place where dreams were small and life was hard. Diego Armando Maradona, the fifth of 8 children. His father worked in factories. His mother cooked meals from nothing. But young Diego had a gift, a ball at his feet. By 3, he could juggle oranges. By 8, he dazzled crowds in street games. They called him El Pibe de Oro, the Golden Boy. But no one, not even his family, knew just how high or how far Diego Maradona would go. At just 15, he made his professional debut for Argentina's juniors. 5 minutes in, he nutmegged his marker. Fans had never seen anything like it. He was small, barely 5'5", but his talent was larger than life. Dribbles, tricks, goals from impossible angles. Soon, Boca Juniors came calling. And in 1981, he delivered them a league title. Argentina had found its hero. Europe came next. But so did the pressure and the chaos. Maradona arrived at Barcelona as the world's most expensive player. Expectations were sky high. He dazzled, scored, entertained, but off the pitch, injuries, illness and nightlife began to consume him. He was attacked by defenders, broken ankle, hospital beds. And when he returned, he fought back, literally. In the infamous 1984 Copa del Rey final, he sparked a brawl that would end his time in Spain. Barcelona couldn't control him, but Naples welcomed him like a god. When Maradona arrived at Napoli, they were a team with no history, no hope. But he changed everything. Naples was poor, looked down on by the rich north. Diego became their champion, their warrior. He led Napoli to their first ever Serie A title in 1987. And again in 1990. In between, he brought them a UEFA Cup. They built murals in his honor. Babies were named after him. To them, he wasn't a footballer. He was salvation. But behind the glory, darkness waited. Addiction, scandal, the pressure of being a god weighed heavy on a man who was only human. 1986, Mexico, the World Cup. Argentina versus England, a match charged with political tension. And then, Diego took center stage. First, he scored with his hand. A little with the head of Maradona, and a little with the hand of God, he said later. Controversy erupted. But minutes later, he dribbled past 5 English players in what is still called the goal of the century. In that match, Diego was both sinner and saint, hero and villain. He led Argentina to the World Cup title, and for his people, he became immortal. But the higher he flew, the harder he fell. In 1991, Maradona tested positive for cocaine. He was banned from football for 15 months. His body began to fail him. His personal life spiraled. Mafia connections, weight gain, rehab clinics. Napoli released him. The hero was broken. But he wasn't finished yet. He played on for Sevilla, for Newell's Old Boys, and returned to Boca Juniors, where it all began. But he was a shadow of the genius he once was. The world watched. As their fallen idol fought demons, he couldn't escape. After football, Maradona tried to find peace. He coached, he inspired. He became a symbol of hope for the poor in Argentina. Despite health scares, surgeries, and relapses, Diego never turned his back on his people. They loved him, flaws and all. He was never perfect, but he was theirs. He lived for them. And when he smiled, the world smiled too. On November 25th, 2020, the world lost Diego Maradona. He died at 60 years old. Streets flooded with mourners, murals painted in his honor, tears from Naples to Buenos Aires. Millions grieved, but celebrated his life. He was more than football. He was the dream of the poor, the hope of the forgotten, the rebel who rose against the odds. Diego Maradona lived fast, loved fiercely, and died a legend. He was imperfect. He was flawed. But Diego Maradona gave the world magic. A boy from Villa Fiorito who became a god. And though he's gone, his spirit lives on. In every ball kicked, in every dream believed.